Hey guys.
Jesse,
Yes.
I promise you this is the last time I'm going to be as scruffy as I am during this
It's
podcast.
okay.
I came back from California and I was like, I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow. And then it's been 2 weeks later.
It tends to happen.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
How often do you usually get haircuts?
I like to say every 3 weeks.
Yeah. Does your hair grow really fast?
Yeah, real
I
fast.
feel like guys' hair grows back really fast.
Girls doesn't?
I mean, you can't tell because it's so long. You know? Like, you're not measuring it with the tape being like, oh, it got an inch longer. But, like, with guys, you could tell when it gets long because
Oh,
you're just
yeah,
like, oh,
okay.
you don't look like you got a fresh cut, you know?
Damn, dude. You
Well,
kind of said that a little
that's the
too
truth.
on the nose there for me. You don't look like you got a fresh cut. Scruffy ass hoe. I was like,
No, but-
bro, please, Jesse. We're co-hosts. Oh my god, dude, what a
Yes.
wonderful week.
I know. It's been such a good week.
Yeah.
Also, thank you guys for being patient with us as we mess up every here and there with the timing of when we're supposed to upload and things like
Hell
that.
yeah.
So, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
We be messing up sometimes.
Yeah.
We
But
be messing up.
you said it was a crazy week for you last week. Was
It-
it overwhelming?
Last week was had some friends over at the studio on Thursday. That was really nice. I was like looking forward to that all week. But it was kind of like a little interesting because I work for CPS now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a security guard. I'll make sure shit gets done, dude. I'm like the nicest guy, but I gotta be like a little mean to kids. Not mean. I gotta be a father figure to them.
Yeah.
But school's back, so it was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I really like? I really like calling kids mijo and mija.
You like that?
I like that. Is that weird?
It's not weird. It's just like I can't imagine like calling my kids that. I can't. Like I think maybe once like I'm a mom, I think that'll come naturally, but I don't. It doesn't roll off my tongue the way I would
No.
like it to. you know?
Okay. I feel that. I feel like
But as a child, though, I used to. Well, even now, like I love when people call me that. I love when people call me Mika. It feels like, oh, you love me. Like even if you don't know me.
that's like as an adult, like as a teenager, it's weird.
Yeah.
But as a little kid, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
The kids are like, teacher. They call me teacher because I'm a security guard, and that's
Teacher.
Mexican kids call everyone teacher that's
Yeah.
older than them. That isn't their mom. Teacher. And then I'm like, yeah, mijo. And they're like, he hit me. And I was like, weren't you just hitting him earlier? And he's like, yeah, but he hit me back. And I was like, don't hit each other. Okay. It's funny, man. These kids are so funny, dude. This kid, dude, at recess slipped on like this one little chunk of ice because we go outside for recess. Yeah, right. One little
What
chunk of
was he
ice. And, he landed in dirt, so it's not like he hurt himself.
Yeah.
But when he slid forward, and then he just like kept dragging, right? And his pants like just slipped right off his sweatpants. Full dick, full ass. I was just like, Jesus Christ. But 5th grade, you're young enough where you're not conscious about that shit. So he just
Yeah.
went and like picked it back up. But I was just like, what the fuck was that, bro?
Pobrecito.
Oh, that was my worst nightmare when I was a kid, bro. And he was just like, huh. I kept playing football. Like, it was
That's
nothing, dude.
hilarious. That's so funny.
These kids, man. They're so funny, dude. I love them. And parents are wild, bro.
Are they
Parents
really?
are wild, yeah. Parents are so fucking wild, dude. They're meanies.
What do you mean? Like,
Like,
give one story.
like this, like the worst kid in school, right? Like the meanest kid, hitting teachers, hitting parents.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, hitting teachers, hitting students, and like they call his mom over, right, to like deal with him, and his mom's like, "Well, what are you guys doing to address this? Like, it's the teacher's fault and everyone's fault that this
Bitch,
kid's beating
what are you
everybody
doing to
up."
address
Yeah.
this?
And the worst part was, like, I saw this kid once, right? Like, his mom got called. She was going to pick him up because he hit a teacher. And so he was in the auditorium waiting. He's a 2nd grader, by the way. He's a little boy.
Oh my god.
The kids call him Pumpkinhead. because he be biting people and shit.
Damn.
And so he was going up to the auditorium, was like playing with the chairs as he was like flicking the chairs. And then he se atoró su dedo. Did I tell you the story?
No,
about this
you
kid?
didn't.
No? Se atoró su dedo in the chairs. So he's like really pissed off that happened. And he's not really crying too much. He's just kind of like, and then he sees his mom. As soon as he sees his mom, and he's like, like he just gets into this whole fucking crying spiel, right? And he's like, mal auditorio, like the auditorium heard him. I was like, pinche niño. And this is like, and he gets that from his mom. His mom gives him like nourishes that evil in him. Which I don't care if you're a little kid, but when I see a little kid like that, I immediately think
how is he gonna be as an adult? Yeah.
Because it's gonna become dark. It's gonna become dark real quick.
I don't mess with them kids.
He's gonna get a Twitter, and then it's gonna be over for everybody.
I've had like I have had a few encounters with like little spoiled kids like that are just like they want everything their way. And I remember one time I was at the house of this kid's mom's house, right? And the mom was just like, oh, like you and Daisy can go inside. They were having carne asada outside. They're my mom's friends. And they're, you guys can go inside. You guys can watch TV, whatever. So me and Daisy went inside. We were like watching TV, like choosing what to watch. And then the kid comes in here and she's like, I want to watch this. And I was just like,
what?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to watch this. And I'm just like, no, your mom told me I can come in here and I can watch whatever I want. She's like, well, I'm going to tell my mom. And then she started crying. I was like, go tell her.
How old were you?
I was like 15 or 6. I was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Daisy was like in middle school. And I was like, it was so funny because I had never talked to a kid like that. But she was really making me mad. I was just like, go tell her then. And then she went to go tell her. And her mom came and she's like, what happened? Like, not to me, but like to her. And I was just like, it's because she wants to watch a show, but me and Daisy are watching this show. And you told us we could watch that. And her mom's like tough on her. So she was just like, no, she's just like, leave them. I told them they could watch that show. Like, if you want to be like that, then you can go be like that, but you can do it in your room. Like, we're not going to do it here. Dang. But yeah, she was just like, that's my TV. I can watch whatever I want. I was just like, think again, okay? Like, go to ask your mom that. I'm not gonna be fighting with you. But it was just so funny. Oh my god, no, I
Spoiled
can't.
Brats, man.
I can't, man. I
killer.
cannot deal with kids like that.
Killer, man.
Cannot deal with kids like that.
You know, it's hard for me as a parent. If I see a kid that's acting up, it's hard for me to not be like, hey, you know, like the kid that isn't even mine. You know, like I was hanging out with some friends, and the baby was like. The mom's like, okay, mijo, you got to do this. And he was like, ah! He got mad at the mom. And I went, hey. Like, oh. You know, like, you don't do that. And then Betsy had to, like, touch my arm to be like, no, chill. He's not your son. And I was like, I was so mad, bro. So frustrated, bro. But, yeah, that's that dad grunt.
Oh, God, man.
Hey.
What? Literally, my dad does that too. No, when my dad does that, I'm just like, all right, yeah, the master has spoken. Like, you do not. Dude,
it's funny when I do it to Renato. Like, he'll like be doing something, and he's gonna like touch something or put something in his mouth that he shouldn't, and I'm like, Nato. He looks and he goes, and he gets like mad, like I caught him. He gets frustrated.
He's like, fuck.
He's like, what you? Oh. Or like if we try to catch something from like when he puts something in his mouth and we're like trying to get it, he like immediately starts to run, like crawling away. Like,
well, now he can probably run.
He can, but when he's sitting down grabbing something, he has to go to the crawling right away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he can't waste time.
Yeah, he can move really fast, but it takes a long time to get up. You know what I mean? Like, you know. A long time to get up and then a quick time to run. Dude.
Yeah, what was that about your phone case? He just chomped off a little.
I mean, like, you know, when babies start teething, their gums are so itchy all the time.
And he's like,
they want to eat everything, and then you know you're like, oh baby, you want to see the phone? And he's like, no, baby. Yeah, that's rough, man.
That's so funny.
There's so many like chewed things. It's no joke, man. You got to really keep your eye on these kids because if you don't, they will die.
Yeah, literally, like they will do anything to kill themselves without knowing. And like,
It's
Yeah.
terrible, man.
Yeah.
We went on vacation this weekend, and there was like the stairs that was going down, and he just kept looking at the stairs like, oh, man, I'm gonna go down there. Eventually, he got comfortable. It was like the first night. We just had to get him used to it, so he kept like
Yeah.
crawling on his own. Eventually, he was just like, no, I don't want to do that. It's not fun
Yeah.
anymore. But up until that point, kids are too curious, bro.
Yeah, they're just like
And curiosity killed the cat. It's
one
wild.
time. I don't think I've ever told you this story.
No.
One time, in my dad's, where my dad lives, where my grandma lives, it's like a big rancho, and they would do like a party every year in August.
Oh,
Like a
sick.
huge party, like just a bunch of people I never knew. But they have like a bunch of trees, so they'd have like hamacas on the trees, and then like behind that they would have like big brincas, like the things that
Bounce houses.
the bounce houses, yeah. And so like the older cousins would think it's funny to like turn them off, so I'd always get scared to like be in those.
Yeah, because then
Yeah, because it like
Collapse on
traumatizes
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one time I was in there all alone, just chilling. And this is in New Mexico, right? So I was just chilling in there, bouncing by myself. And then all of a sudden, I start flying away with the bounce house. It starts flying. And we live like by a big highway.
Big winds?
Big wind. And it flew me all the way to the highway. And like across. And
You just tumbleweeded that bitch, dude. What the fuck?
and then like everybody was just like, oh my god, the bounce house, like nobody's in there. My mom's like, no, Jesse's in there.
Oh my god. Hey, your mom's all casual. No, actually, Jesse's in there. Just drinking her fucking drink.
Pina colada.
Yeah.
I got chill. Yeah,
I got 2 more.
never again after that. I hate bounce houses. I hate them with my
No
entire
la
heart and
amarraron
soul.
or what? They didn't like.
I don't know what happened. The point is I flew inside the bounce house with it.
¿Quién te salvó? What happened?
I don't know what happened after that. I was like 4 or 5.
He's an
so,
angel.
Yeah, literally, I could have died. I had a lot of near-death experiences that I forgot about.
Top
Apparently.
3 near-death
Whole
experience.
scarlet fever. That
Yeah,
bounce
scarlet
house.
fever, bounce house incidents.
I don't know what else. Another one will come up at
Yeah.
some point in the podcast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll let you guys know.
Just come to you. I near-death experiences when I was a child. I don't really.
Did you ever have an incident like that though, where like something really like scary happened to you, and then like you just like were like, we'll never again do that?
Speaking of like rowdy second graders,
Mm.
right? I remember one day we played hooky that day. Right? My mom's like, "We're gonna play hooky," and I didn't know.
What's
'cause
hooky?
Hooky is like when you don't go to school.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought, as a kid, you're like, hockey, go, fuck, we're going to play hockey, But she's like, no, it's hooky. We don't go to school that day. And I was like, whoa, that's so exciting, So we didn't go to school that day. We were with my mom, the 3 of us kids. And then we went to McDonald's, which is like the epitome of like happy
Yeah.
childhood. But then for one reason or another, we had to go back to the school. Now, at the time, my mom was like the president of the LLC at our school. And this was at this crazy moment of the school's history where a teacher who was like addicted to cocaine like abandoned her class for like an hour, 2 hours.
my
The principal
gosh.
walks in, sees these kids, puts them in his office because he's like, where the fuck is this teacher, right? And then when the teacher gets him up and he's already going to get ready to fire her, but she was so connected and powerful that she was able to convince a kid that like that the principal kicked the student. So there was this huge drama, and they fired that principal,
Oh
and
my
the teacher was just like being the most evil, ruthless person in the world. Anyway, my mother was a very objective person as a president, and trying to make sure that reason was touted. So she received death threats and all this shit.
Oh my
my mother, and
gosh.
cops had to escort her home during this time.
That's insane.
So my mom was very stressed at this time, right? So we had to go back to the school to kind of like talk about some stuff. And I remember my mom clearly being upset, right? And I was confused. I was just like, because as a kid, you don't really understand the context of everything I just shared. All you just see is like, we were supposed to have fun today, and now we're back at
Now
school,
she's mad.
and my mom is pissed. And I remember she was just upset, and she was like walking around upset, and I was just like, this is terrible. And I was so angry. And we go to like a CVS, and there I am, and I'm like, I'm gonna run away.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
fucking run away. I'm gonna run away out of this CVS. And I remember we were just walking. It was around Valentine's Day in February, middle of winter. Like, who the fuck runs away in the middle of winter, right?
Yeah.
But it's February. We're walking in the little aisle, and I see these like stuffed animals to my right, and it's like little pink gorillas, and they have a little heart that says "Wild Thing," like the song "Wild Thing." You know, you make my heart sing, whatever. And I was like, oh, haha, what a funny gorilla. And I'm just like waiting for my mom to turn the aisle. I'm just like wasting time purposefully there. And I say, ah, ha, ha. And I'm just like looking at her. And as soon as she turns the corner, I drop the fucking gorilla and I start walking out. I'm just walking deliberately. And as soon as I walk out of that CVS, I walk home. And then I'm like, what am I doing at home? I'm supposed to run away.
Yeah.
And then so I start getting out of there. I start going on 26th Street, and I'm just walking down 26th Street. And I'm crying the entire time. I don't bring anything. I don't pack anything. I'm just walking.
And you're like, what, 8?
I am 8 years old, just walking through there. Right, and I'm just walking, and I see people looking at me, looking at this crying 8-year-old, and then I see like an unemployment office on 26th Street, and I just see people like sleeping in the unemployment office waiting to be called, and I'm just like, I'm gonna sleep there tonight, you know, like I'm just like planning what I'm gonna be doing, you know, like weeping, crying. I get to Cosner in 26, which is a pretty big street, Cosner, and I'm just like walking, and I'm not really paying attention, and I just remember someone pulling me really quick, right? And I get pulled away from the street, and a car boom like zips by, and I turn around, there's no one behind me, right? There's nobody behind me, and I'm like, what the hell was that? My ass hurts like a motherfucker, right? I decide to cross Cosner anyway once I can cross. And I chicken out, and I'm like, this is too far. There's no houses around here. Let me just go back. I cross the street again, and this guy comes up to me, the guy that almost hit me with the car. He's like, are you okay? I was like, what? Are you okay? What's going on? He's like, I ran away from home. You know, I'm trying to get out of here. Guys, don't do this. But he said, I'll give you a ride home.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So I get in his car, and this is a normal, regular car, but he's wearing like a mechanic's outfit, and his name tag, Angel. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Check this out. And then so, you know, and he starts driving me home, and at this point, I should be kidnapped.
Yeah.
At this point, you know, I should be
like human traffic.
Yeah, trafficked immediately.
Yeah.
You know, but by the grace of God, he like drives me to my house. All right. And as I get there, my mom is walking up at the same time. And my mom was pissed as fuck, dude. Like, so mad. And he's like, your son was just walking in the street. She's like, thank you so much. And then she, like, takes me in the house. And, man, I didn't get hit, but I got yelled at. I got, like, talked to about... I learned what rape was at that time.
Yeah.
My mom had to, like... Lady was like, I don't care if it's an old lady that takes you in. You never go to anyone's car. She could have taken you up to her son's, and he would have raped you. And I would have been like, what? And like, the first thing I thought when I heard that word was just a pear getting peeled. And so I thought, I'm gonna get peeled. like I thought my skin.
Rapaz.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
Yeah, and I was gonna get peeled. And then my brother heard rake. So he thought they were going to rake us, you know what I mean? Like, just get raked to death, you know? Like, and we were just like, you know, we're little. I'm the oldest, so I'm 8. My brother's 7.
God.
My daughter, my sister's 5. And so we're just freaking the fuck out. My sister tells me that she was, like, looking for me. And then on the way back home, and my mom was just, like, pissed. She didn't know where I was. They were, like, calling for me at CVS. My sister was like, so am I going to have just one brother now?
Oh my God!
And then my mom was like, Petty, shut up.
That's
like,
so your sister? She's still like that. Like, oh, that's hilarious.
And I remember going back to school.
her.
When I went back to school, this girl, Margarita, she was like, hey, I heard them looking for you at CVS. I was like, you were there? Yeah. But that was...
That's insane.
And then we had to go back out later that day, and we bought a can of ravioli, and we ate that for dinner.
Aww.
And I was like worried. But like honestly, for years I was tortured by the fact that I did that. I just felt like I was like the worst kid in the world.
That was, yeah,
Yeah.
just a tad.
Just a tad.
If my kid did that, I would be pissed like your mom. I'd be like,
Oh man.
dude, you were like a very unique child.
What?
Like, just from you saying, like, all these stories that you say, like, the fact that you would think that way at the age of 8, like, I had thoughts that were, like, I feel like were above what other people around me were thinking. Like, I didn't think that people were thinking what I was thinking, but I feel like you were, like, way ahead at 8 years old. Like, I mean, I'm gonna run away. This is where I'm gonna sleep. Like, that's a Home Alone shit. Like,
yeah, I was. I probably saw that movie too many times.
you know, like, I never thought about running away. I guess I thought about it, but I was just like, I would never
Yeah, like 2 chicken
ever
shit.
do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was so scared. Like, I'm too scared of my dad to be able to even run away. Like,
No, dude, I was done with it, bro. I was so fucking done.
I would just punch a pillow.
Yeah, I wasn't a puncher. I was a crier.
I would cry too.
I was a big crybaby. Jesus Christ, I was crying all the time. I cried one time because we were playing 7-Up, and I was the only kid that didn't get picked for 7-Up.
Oh my god.
You know, and you do the math in your head. You know, like everybody, you know, like you get like the 5 kids that are up there, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is the first batch. Yeah, no worries. The next batch, okay, that's cool. The batch after that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get picked for the next one. Yeah, okay, doing the math. I'm the only one. Okay, I haven't got, but for sure the next one. Oh, we're
Never.
done. Wait, the teacher's like, we're done. What?
Oh.
I've been saying that was my thumb up, bro. I started weeping.
Oh, sad.
And the teacher was like, yeah, Miss, what was her name? God bless her. I want to say Miss Henderson, but no, it wasn't Miss Henderson.
I used to forge my mom's signatures for like daily reading time or whatever.
Oh yeah, I would forge my dad's signature.
And I remember one time this old teacher, her name was Mrs. Brooks. She was old. she had a little afro and it was like all like gray.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then like
Salt
her
and
elbow
pepper
was always
fro.
like
Pointy?
popped out.
What the fuck?
Cause she like broke it at some point. And she like was obsessed with like pigs, so she had like a bunch of little pigs things around. And anyway, and she was like, she loved the Steelers, so she was weird. But anyway, she came up to me one time. I know,
what a
lot.
character,
I
bro.
know, dude, there's a lot. And then she came up to me once, and then she was just like, "Is this your mom's signature?" And I was just like, "Yes." She's like, "Are you sure?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And she let it go, but she knew it wasn't.
Yeah, kids are bad liars.
Yeah.
They're such bad liars.
Yeah. I was like, I thought I did it good.
Yeah.
I thought I forged it good.
Dude, my dad's signature looked like a 2 and a 9.
Oh, so you were just easily.
So I was like easily like replicating it all over the place. And my brother's like, oh, I didn't do my homework. Now my dad has to sign it. I was like, bro, don't even trip. It's just a 2 and a 9.
Let me just.
And then he does it. No, he did it himself. I was like, bro, once you learn this, bro, hey, you're on easy street. And then the next day he got in trouble because he forged my dad's
Oh
signature.
no, pobrecito.
And I was just like, whoa, bro.
You're like, you need
You fucked up,
practice.
dude.
Yeah.
Now you know, bro. That
That's so funny.
I was
There's
such an asshole, brother. One time, these girls came to our house for church, right? A bunch of people from church came over. Mm-hmm. My brother and I were little. I think we were like 5 and 6, 5 and 4 or 6 and 5, and all these girls were in our house, and my dad sends us to go take showers. And they're playing with my sister in her little kitchen, and when we were boys, we would run around naked around the table, right?
Oh,
We would just run around naked.
no.
So we're like, yeah, we should run around naked, like, let's do that. Yeah, let's go. And we get undressed, and he runs out first, and I immediately close the door behind him. So he's running like 3 times, and then he realized that there's nobody behind him. And then my dad whooped his ass so bad.
You're so mean.
I was like, yo, this was not supposed to happen like this.
What do you mean? You're the one that closed the door.
Because you don't think about the consequences.
That's true.
You
You're
want
right.
to just be funny.
Yeah.
But then my brother was getting beat, and I
That's
was just like,
so sad. Pobrecito.
I should have stepped in, bro.
That's so funny.
I love my brother.
I remember one time, this is kind of nasty, but whatever. I'm gonna say it anyway. One time, I think it was like before even Chewy was born, so I was maybe like 3 or 4, and my mom and dad were traveling with me, so we were late for our flight, and they were like already calling us to board, but I was in the bathroom with my mom and I was constipated,
Oh my
which
God.
is still like a normal thing for me. I get constipated a lot. Not that you guys needed to know that, but you know, Miralax saves lives. So
Yeah, true.
so I was just like trying to poop and I couldn't get
Fucking
it
red
out.
as
I
fuck,
couldn't get it
yeah.
out. Yeah, and like purple almost. And then my dad was just like, yo, like, what are you guys doing? Like, we need to go. And my mom's just like, no, la niña, like, she can't get her poop out. So my dad's just like, oh, like, my dad's all antsy. He goes into the woman's bathroom, goes into my stall, literally puts his finger up my ball and takes my poop out. And I was just like, what the heck? As a kid, you're just like, what is going on? I couldn't even do anything. And so, I mean, my
I've
poop
never
was-
fucking. What the fuck is that, bro? You do that when you grow up on a farm and you have vacas and shit. Like you gotta do the.
Well, my dad grew up on
Yeah, that's how that's how you learn that shit.
So he just took it out and he was like, all right, you're done. Like, let's go.
God, I don't even want to like get close to my own fingers right now, bro.
So I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, so I will never forget that. My mom laughs at it. I was just like, that's traumatizing. You guys traumatized me. Then you guys act they act like, why do you have anxiety for? I'm just
Yeah.
like, all those times.
Why do you always have anxiety when you have to poop?
Daisy
know.
had like so much anxiety with the flushing of the toilets. It would be so funny because like she'd go to the bathroom, she'd like pee or poop right away, and then she'd like put her pants up and start running.
Before it ate her,
Before
before it bit her booty cheeks.
the thing started like flushing, and literally like sometimes she wouldn't open the door on time, so like she'd be like fumbling to try to
Yeah.
open the door, like running, and I was like, girl, chill.
It's because she was afraid of the noise, dude. Kids don't like loud noises.
I don't like the noise on the plane, like the bathroom plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You're just
damn.
like, what the fuck?
Like I press it and then I go like this.
Yeah, you look at it, you're like, you thirsty bitch? Chill the fuck out, dude. Thirsty ass toilet.
Good times.
Yeah, man. I am disturbed by that story, by the way.
You think you're disturbed by hearing it? I went through it, Richard. Like, oh yeah.
This makes my back of my neck just fucking freak out.
Yeah, no. My dad, but now my dad pays the price because when he goes to get his prostate checked, and they have to be like bend over.
Yeah, they bend him over and he's getting his prostate check and you just kind of dig in it. You just show up and you're like,
What, Willie?
oh, yeah. You get off.
Ew, no.
Payback, bitch.
No. Never, ever.
Wet Willie on his ass. I'm sorry saying that. Do a wet Willie on your ass, boy. What did you say?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought it would come out meaner then. No, man. That's childhood, bro. Those are wild ass stories when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Wild ass fucking stories, dude.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're not really cool sometimes, but they're like funny when you think about them now.
Yeah. It's the hardest times of your life, and then you can look back at them with these rose lenses. I think it's
funny.
important. I think you have to remember that because that's what it's going to be like now.
That's true.
20 years from now, we're not going to remember the hard times. We're going to remember all the beauty.
All the good times.
All the
I
good
know.
times.
So good.
Unless you're one of those depressed people that only talk about the bad times all the time,
That's true.
which is rough.
Do you think I'm like that? Or
No, not at all.
Okay. No, not at all. I'm like hesitant.
No. Like when we talk, we're like if we talk, typically you're like planning. You're
Yeah,
thinking
that's
of the
true.
positive. And if you're like telling me about something negative, or not even negative, but just like a sad time, it's in the context of talking about something sad. It's never like, "Hey, Jesse, how's your day?" Well, I couldn't get out of bed because I kept just thinking
Yeah,
about what
that's true.
happened years ago, and you're
That's
like,
true.
"Oh, okay." And how about those plans that you had? Well, I couldn't do it because of that thing that happened. Okay, Jesse. I have friends.
Yeah,
I have some
that's
friends like that only talk about the sadness. Friends? No, they're not my friends anymore.
Acquaintances.
Some of my best friends became that person, and I just couldn't scoop them out of that
That
sadness.
sucks.
It was heartbreaking for me. Just always going to the negative. At first it starts off you know, we're friends in high school, and they're talking about girls that they like and how they can't really talk to them. So it's just like, at first it's like benign, right? It's not like a real negative thing. And so I just encourage them, like, talk to me. And then, you know, they're like, no, I can't do that. And you're like, okay, whatever. And then we get older, and then they get more attractive, you know, they come to their own. And so then you can really get them girlfriends. And then now you see them making out with somebody, and you're just like, I did my job as a best friend, right? Like you know, we made it work. And, but then constantly just like negative, like never ever taking the risks.
Yeah, that's
because
hard.
of just a constant negativity. And sometimes it's not even them, it's their parents.
Yeah.
People's parents are shitty, dude.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh,
That
man.
sucks. Like, why would you? I don't know. Do you think parents are like intentionally bad parents sometimes, or do you think most of the time they don't even know they're being bad parents? They're just
I think sometimes people are mentally ill.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
I like to think that I used to think to myself, quite naively, especially when I became a parent, that no parent would want something negative for their kid. You know, but there are just evil people out there.
That don't get the help they need.
Yeah. You know that scam of like a kid playing violin? Have you heard of that scam?
No.
So like I saw a couple of videos once, and then I've seen it at Food for Less, and I'm like, you know, like you're like when you're like going to Target and, you know, buy the Food for Less, there's like this kid, and he's like a virtuoso kind of violin player, and there he is, and he's with his mom, and you're like, damn, he's really talented. But I didn't give him money because I was just like, that is weird.
Oh,
right?
That's weird. I've seen people.
Yeah.
By us too.
Yeah,
They like
yeah.
play the violin.
Yeah, kids.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
kids. I didn't know that.
That's
I didn't
a
know that's a scam thing.
Yeah, so it's just a track.
That's
And
insane.
they pantomime it. Yeah, they pantomime it. And like, you know, the kid doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
It's the parent. You know, they're introducing their kids to some awful shit.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Dude, I've gotten
crazy.
scammed once. Ugh, the worst. And the kids were in the car when I got scammed. Like, this person that scammed me, their kids were in the car. It's a common scam where, like, they see a bump in your car and they're like, oh, you know, I can fix it. I got all the tools in my car. And I was a very naive young man and very desperate to save money.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I don't have to spend $600 to fix this little bump on my car.
Mm-hmm.
This guy can do it for me. And what they do is, like, they basically just beat the shit out of your car, right? They fuck it up. They don't let you see what you're doing, right? And you're like, okay, cool. And then they, like, cover it in, like, turtle wax. And then you pay them the money. But then you clean the turtle wax off and it's all fucked up still.
Oh
And
my
probably
god.
even worse. You know? And I was just like, God damn it, I got scammed. You know? And it's so funny because it wasn't even the only time I heard that. After
Yeah.
that, I would hear it all the time. You know, people would come like, you know, I can fix that for you. And I was like, no, thank you. No, I know what this is.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like different people. It's the same scam, but,
Yeah.
you know.
I remember my mom. This is when I like learned how to be like really aware of things. We were walking out of a Walmart. It wasn't super late at night, but it was already dark. And she was on the phone with my dad, and I was helping her put stuff in the car. And some guy came up to her and was just like, "Do you need help putting stuff in your car?" And mom was just like, No, thank you. And he's just like, I can help you though. My mom's like, no, I'm on the phone with my husband. No, like I don't need help. And so then, whatever, he left. He ended up leaving. He left her alone right away. But he's just, my mom like taught me something that day. She was just like, first of all, always be aware of your surroundings. And second, like there's going to be people that want to help you. Do not take their help. Like, you know, which is, this is sad, but she's like, especially if you're a woman and it's a man, like do not take their help, you know. She's like, anybody, but you know. So she was really looking out for me in that way. But yeah, it's crazy. I was just like, holy shit, like, oh, okay, he really could have been a bad person. Like he could have wanted to just like see what was in our car, or like he could have maybe wanted to distract my mom to do something to me. So it was just like, that's insane, you know, to think that people think that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's vile people out there, dude. And so, you know, sometimes those people have kids. And so it really kind of just throws the whole thing overboard. And those kids go to school, you know, and they all go to school because it's the law to go to school. So then you'll have all sorts of...
Yeah.
I tell you about... this isn't because he's not a bad kid or because his mom's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But just like kids' impressionability. You know, I had like recently colored my hair, like re-dyed it, and so it was really bright red, and so everybody could see it like under the hat. It's kind of faded now, but when I did it again, you know, people were just like, whoa. And I was with these kids, third graders that I was tutoring. And, you know, they were just like fascinated by the fact that I had colored hair and I was a guy. And they're like, whoa, you know. And they were really excited. One kid was like talking about like Naruto and all the characters that have colored hair. And the other kid was just like, this little boy was just like, oh, I wish I could color my hair, but my mom says I can't. And he's just like doing his work. And he's like, my mom says only Mediconas could color their hair. And I was like, oh my God. And the best part was he didn't say the hair right. He just said Medicones.
Medicones.
Like that only Medicones get their hair colored. And he was just like, doo, 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 like not even, you know, like unaware of what he was saying.
Idea.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just oblivious, dude. It was so funny.
Yeah, be careful what you tell your kids. They
They'll
will
pick it up,
repeat it.
man.
Yeah.
They will repeat it. They will
Holy
repeat
shit.
it.
Oh my God. He's so funny.
Yeah, man.
Berry cones.
Medicones, dude. Medicones. Those are funny words.
I remember there was this one guy in first grade. He was like, he looked way older than all of us, but he was in first grade with us, which was, there was just something weird going on with him. And his parents were like weird too. He was like a new kid, but he always wanted to try to grab my hand. And I didn't like it. Obviously, it's like, what the fuck? So I would always go like that and just like pull away and pull away. And then he'd follow me everywhere. Like, if I would go to the back of the line, he'd go to the back of the line. Because, like, I would be, like, the first one in line.
So
and
like
then he would literally go right behind me. And I was just like, okay, well, if I go to the back of the line, he's not going to want to go. Because, you know, it's the back of the line. Nobody wants to be in the back of the line. He would follow me to the back of the line.
Only you would think that because of who you are. Us bad kids are like, yeah, let me go in the back. Yeah. This shit goes down in the back of the line.
Yeah, I was just like, ain't nobody want to be a caboose.
Yeah, caboose.
So I was just like,
I'm the engine, baby.
so I went to the back. He would follow me to the back. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? So at this point, I was getting like grossed out. I was getting like bad vibes. And I was just like, no. Like, he's like, she just like wants to touch me. I don't like that. And so then I was like too scared to tell a teacher because I didn't know how to like explain it. Like, you don't know how to explain like, somebody wants to touch me. I don't want them to touch me. Like, I don't know. I just didn't have that vocabulary. And so then it got to a point I didn't want to go to school anymore.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like, he didn't do anything to me. He was just always trying to, like, touch my hand, and I didn't like it. Yeah. But I didn't want to go to school anymore, and so my mom was like, well, I don't know why she doesn't want to go to school, like, and I didn't know how to tell her, and then there was a point where my mom had to, like, walk me to the school, and the principal was there. She's like, you're going to have to come to school. Like, you can't just keep missing school. And I kept crying because I was just like, how do I tell them that I'm bothered by this? And then so then, like, the principal was just like, is there anything wrong? Is there something happening? And then I said the name of this kid, and she's like, okay, did he do something? You know, whatever. And then slowly, like, you know, I started telling them. And then weeks later, he wasn't there anymore. So I was just like, thank God for that. But, like, that's so scary. Like, you know, like, that kid was definitely older than all of us. But for some reason, like, was in first grade because I don't know what happened.
That's the worst, yeah.
But, like, it's so sad. Like, kids don't have vocabulary to tell you what's wrong. And, like, then there's, like, people that are more mature, you know, within the grade that, like, know how to take advantage of people and things. And it's just so sad sometimes. But the good thing is that, like, parents and teachers that are aware, and that's like, I think that's a good part about like you working at a school, because you can be that for somebody and be that for like a little kid, you know.
No, that's important, man. That's so important. And then just have that trust with the children, you know, that they know that like they can come to you if there's something going on.
Yeah,
you know? That's real. It's so funny that you said that because he clearly liked you, right?
Yeah.
Though he was doing something that he shouldn't have done, and I'm glad nothing happened and that he was out. But, you know, my son's also in first grade. Yeah. And there's a girl that he likes. Yeah. So I don't know as a dad, like, how do I express to him? I told him, like, you know, I was telling him, it's funny because my son can talk to girls, but he doesn't talk to the girls that he likes. Because if he likes her, then he's shy. Aww. Right? And so I was trying to explain to him, like, no, first just kind of, like, tell her, like, just talk to her like if we were just friends. Yeah. You know? But he was like, oh, I don't know, you know. And then,
Cute.
because you don't want to because Betsy's like, Valentine's is coming. You can give her something for Valentine's. And I was like, no. You got to be friends first.
Yeah.
And then you give her something for Valentine's. Then, it's nice. But if you just kind of give it, she'll be like,
Yeah.
what the hell? When I was in kindergarten, I remember there was this girl, Carmen, who, she was definitely a little crack baby for sure.
Oh, okay.
But she would try to steal me under the table and kiss me. Yeah, she would like pull me under the table.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, try to smooch on me. Yeah.
Did that make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it did. It was just weird, Like I've never liked it when girls were like too forward with me.
Yeah.
But I just remember her just like really like obsessed with me. I was just like, please, for the love of
Please
God,
leave me
stop.
alone.
I don't know what to do. But
That's so funny.
I like we have similar stories, but you're like, yours is so funny, and then mine is like, oh, that was really bad. Damn it, I see.
No,
It's
okay.
funny when it's a boy.
No.
What?
No.
Jesse.
No, it's supposed to be the other way around. That it's supposed to be funny when it's a girl. Like society is just like, oh, if girls are straightforward, it's a fine. But I've never liked that either. Like
You
not
like
that-
to be coy?
not that a girl has ever like come up to me and been straightforward in that way, but
No, like no girl ever like try to spit game at you?
I mean probably, and I just didn't know it. Like I don't know.
Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, girl. Nice to see you too. Like, just walk away.
I don't know.
Hello,
like,
fellow girl.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've seen it happen to Daisy. So it's like, I don't know if just people can sense my straightness. They're just like, nah, this girl's definitely straight,
No, yeah. Nobody be trying to turn you or something?
No, but when I've seen like girls be like super straightforward with guys, like in high school or in college and stuff, I'm just like, chill out, like relax. Like it would always stress me out so much. I'm just like, girl, relax. Like you don't have to be the center of attention every second of the day. Like if you just sit and you just know who you are, they will come to you. You do not have to like be like, forceful and just like be so flirty all the time and always try to get their attention. Like you don't need to do that. Like then you're just proving to them that you have to do all these things to like try to get them. When in reality, if you just sit, they'll come to you and that's better.
I think the same way for myself about being a guy.
Yeah.
I just kind of and the ladies start talking to me. Hey, what's your name? I don't have a name. My name is like the wind.
No.
No. For me, I think like when I've like girls, like when I've impressed them, I don't ever try to. Well, I didn't try to, like, be too forward.
Yeah.
It wasn't my thing. I would try to be smart and funny because that's what I like to be.
Yeah.
But I remember one particular time I winked at a girl and apparently it fucked her up, bro.
That's a good.
And that was the first time I winked at somebody. I was just like, it was a new group of people and I was just like talking to a bunch of people like, bada, 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 bada. And then I just kept talking. In the middle of it, then I kept talking. And then I just remember her going, like, what are those, like,
so
whoa,
cool.
dude. And I was just
That would.
power.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't have glasses then.
No, man, the power of a wink, though.
Dude, yeah.
Like, from anybody will fuck you up. Like,
I wink a lot now, but more so is like when I'm like occupied with something and they're like, hey, you got that? I'm like, yeah, I got that. Like, but that's like a thumbs up wink versus a.
Yeah.
I like when we try to do together, the wink, and he's just like, like blinking.
Cody's dog.
It's
So cute.
dude. Yeah, man, but the power of the wink, bro.
Yeah, power of a wink.
Power of the wink. Girls would drop nasty hints. I remember one time there was this girl that I was like friends with, and she just like went up to me and she was like, "Look," and she had like a cell phone. Like the little punch ones, not even like iPhones yet. They're little. She's like, put the whole thing in her mouth. She's like, I put this whole thing in my mouth.
Ew.
And I was just like, but I was like, oh, okay. I hope it's sanitary. It's not dirty because you
Forrest
got
Gump.
sick. Yeah, exactly. On Forrest Gump about
Forrest
it.
Gump.
You put a cell phone in your mouth. Mama said that's bad.
That mama said that's dirty.
Mama said that's bad. Yeah, those girls are funny, dude. There's two of them. I remember two of them. It was at a Catholic youth group.
Oh
And,
my god! Yeah, this like, yeah.
And I remember they went up to me once, and they're like, "Hey, Tony's not here today. We were gonna make out with him. We'll make out with you." And I was like,
Amen.
I was like, "Yo, bro,
Like what?
it's a marathon, not a race, baby. I play the long game, bro." I remember I made out with both of them, and then I remember that when I was at the second grade, she was a lot taller than me. And, like tippy toes kissing her. And then my mom pulls up. Dun, dun,
No,
dun,
no.
dun, dun, dun. She looks at me. Dun. And I was like, ah. And then she was like, I didn't take you to this group so you could kiss girls. And I was
Oh
like,
my
"Ugh."
gosh.
And then I didn't go for months and months and months and months because my mom didn't let me go. And then when I finally went back there, the girl again. And then I didn't catch the hint that she wanted to make out with me again. She caught me and there was just the two of us together. And she was like, hey, and I was just like, hey. And then I just walked away and I was just like, what? This is so dumb. But it is what it is.
It's so weird that like I always wanted like to find a guy at church. It's just so stupid, but like to me that was like the only, well, school too, but it was like the only place that I would see Mexican guys or boys, yeah. So I remember being like always on the lookout for like cute boys, and I'm just like, this is so bad. Because it's like, you're trying to learn about Christ, and then I'm over here like just looking to see.
You see a fine boy and you're like, Jesus Christ. Oh, hallelujah. You got a big fan. You're all sweaty.
But why did you go to a Catholic youth group for that
So
time?
I had a friend of mine, Michael Gonzalez, who went to that church, right? And I went to a different church. I went to like a Christian church, and so we just decided to go to each other's youth groups.
Oh, to just see, yeah.
just to see what it was like, and it was close to home.
Yeah,
And so I went. And it was a lot of fun.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my youth groups were like
I
Catholic
got married
youth
in
group.
that church.
Oh no way, really?
No, I had my reception in that basement.
Oh,
And so like it was like a beautiful hall that they made under that church. But when I was a kid and I made out with those two girls in that basement, it was not that. So I remember when I like got there and I was telling Betsy like, "Yo, I gotta tell you something about this place." And I was like, "I made out with two girls."
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm gonna be spending the rest of my life with you, girl. It was funny.
That's funny. Oh god.
But that's why I was there, and it was actually for the most part it was a great youth group.
That's good.
A great youth group.
Mine kind of sucked, like my Catholic like groups and communion stuff and all that, like my confirmation stuff, which I thought was gonna be cool because like for confirmation it's like you're older, so I was like, okay, it's gonna be a cool group of people and like people are gonna be fun and like we're gonna learn about God together. But it's just like Catholic, at least like my Catholic church, like people are not about it. Like, you were doing the confirmation because your parents told you to. There was there was like no love for Christ in there at all.
Yeah,
like we were all just
I didn't go to youth group because of church. I was in youth group for the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It was
Yeah.
bad. It was real bad. I remember one time though, it was like, okay, now that it's snowing, I guess this story relates. The winter, the first snow of the season, and I remember it was so beautiful outside of Curia High School, right? It was like beautiful snow. It was like flaky and huge, right? Everything was crystals. And I remember looking at a friend of mine, this girl, Nicole, Huerita, and I just remember her green eyes just looking at me, and I was just looking at her, and it was such a magical time. And we were just like, it was just so beautiful. And I was like, wow. And then after that, when Mom was over, I had to go to the train station. And I remember I threw a snowball at a friend of mine. That's what we would do, freshmen. And then I get hit by a snowball when I get to the train station. I'm like, boom, right in the cara. And I was like, who the fuck did that, right? And it wasn't my friend. and it was like this boy, right? This sophomore or junior. I was like, what the fuck, man? I was ready to fight. Like, we were just ready to fight in this fucking snowstorm. And our friends are breaking it up. They're like pulling me away and they're pulling him away. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. What the fuck, man? That night I go to youth group. And the little verse that we're going over, or the little story we're going over, is like turning the other cheek. And I was like, what the fuck? Turning the other cheek? This is bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Somebody fucks with you, you gotta beat him up. You know, I was so pissed. And I was like fighting the little, the youth pastor so hard on this idea. I'm like, because if you give 1 inch, you know, they'll get you later. You know what I mean? All this shit. So mad. Sure enough, the next day I get to the school, right? School day's over. We go back to the train station because that's where shit goes down. A dude comes up to me and he's like, I heard you said you were going to kick my ass yesterday. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck are you doing in front of my face, man? And we were ready to fight. My fists are ready. We're going to go. And then my friend Ashley, she comes up to me, literally grabs my face, and she's like, Richard, don't fight. Like, here this dude is in front of me. She grabs my face. I turn away. I'm not looking at him anymore.
Oh, like angelic.
Yeah, and she's like, don't fight. And I was like, okay. And then, boom, I get sucker punched in the face.
Oh
and then he runs away, right? He just runs away. And I'm bleeding. He broke my nose, dude. I'm like bleeding everywhere. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was so mad. I was like I was chasing him, but he ran off. And I was just like, I was pissed as fuck. And I was ready to fight. And then a friend of mine, Carolina, she comes up to me and she gives me her shirt and I cover my nose. Carolina had this huge crush on me and I was just so grateful to her. I cover my nose and I start walking back to the school. She takes me to the school and then they call an ambulance. I had to get picked up and I was like, I was so mad. My mom meets me at the hospital. And they told me, yeah, it's broken. There's nothing they can do about it. And I was just pissed off.
You didn't even have to like put it back in place.
No, they couldn't They didn't have to put it back in place. So I kind of had I don't know what the fuck. My nose is naturally crooked. They probably hit it into the right way. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, rhinoplasty for free, dude. Yeah. And I remember my mom that night was just like, you know, I could take you to a different school. You don't have to go back to Curie. And I was like, no, man, I'm gonna show back up there. Try to put a Band-Aid on my nose so I could look cool, you know what I mean?
That's so funny.
You know, but I showed up all fucking swollen, and I was like, what's up? You know? It was so stupid, man. Fucking hated that bullshit. Yeah, man. God, I was so pissed.
Hilarious.
And then I remember Ashley, she was like, my mom's so mad at me because she blamed me for you getting hit in the face. She said, you're the one that let him get hit. I was like, yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Ashley was my first. She wasn't my girlfriend then, but she was my first girlfriend when I went to Curie.
Oh, that's so funny. Aww.
Yeah, just awesome person.
That's crazy. I've never gotten hit. I never want to get hit.
No? Mm-mm. You gotta hit somebody, Jesse.
About it.
Well, how about this? You come over to my school.
Do it.
You find a student.
There's 6.
It's a lesson you gotta learn, kid. I feel like you'd be one of those kids.
Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin head, bro. About to make some pumpkin pie in this bitch. I feel like that's how you would punch. You wouldn't give like one big punch. It'd be like a
bunch of little miniature ones.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, man. Never got hit. I remember at work one time I just kind of went over. A friend of mine and I, we kind of like went over everyone in our team and we're like, okay, that person's definitely gotten hit in the face. Like we went over like a line of like who, because we feel like once you get hit in the face, it changes you. You change.
I'm
right?
sure.
Like you walk differently, and so like yeah, for sure. And we guessed everyone 100% correct. Like you ever get hit in the face and they were like no, and we're like we knew it. We like did a list and we showed them the list afterwards. And it's wild, man.
Yeah, you can tell.
My brother and I used to hit each other all the time. Dude. Boxing. You never got into a fight with your sister?
No.
Not even Chewy?
We're like 7 years older than... I mean, I'm 7 years older than her, so...
Oh, that's true.
But
beat her up.
with Chewy, no, not like fight. Because he would never hit me back. Like, I'd be mean to him. Like, I'd like... Like, if he'd be crying too much or just be too annoying, I'd literally... No, I would like grab his... No, I'd grab like his skin on his... I'd grab like whatever was exposed and I'd... Yeah, I'd like hurt him like that. I'd be so mean. I like regret it now because I'm just like, wow, I was really mean. But I'd literally like, and then he'd be like, ow, He'd be like, "Ma, Jessica hurt me," and I was just like, "Well, he's just being annoying," or I'd pretend I didn't do it.
He's being annoying.
Yeah.
He's just playing video games. Minding his own business.
No, he would be annoying sometimes in the car.
In the car.
I like vividly remember that it was in the car.
What was the thing that he used to do?
Just like cry a lot or whine, or just like be making a lot of noise, or I don't know, just like for me it was annoying. Whatever he was doing. Just so mean. I know it's really mean. I know.
I'm not judging you, dude.
So,
I'm
anyway.
not judging you, bro. Yeah, you're an evil child.
Yeah, you were an evil
That's
child.
normal.
It's
You're
okay.
better now, bro. You're not as
Kind of.
evil anymore. No.
Still evil in me.
Yo, bro, man, it is rough being a parent because like you gotta sometimes be physical with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was able to put Renato down like a few times, and Betsy was like, "How did you do that? You know, like you did so well." I was like, "You don't want to know." Like, you know, like he was like crying a bunch, and I just kind of went put my finger in his mouth and started rolling his lip. And then he got uncomfortable crying while I was doing that. So then he just stopped. When I stopped, he stopped crying, and then he fell asleep.
Oh my god,
I
that's
was-
hilarious.
And I was just like, Lord, I'm sorry, God. Dude, I had to
Oh,
apologize
no.
to my siblings this weekend. I felt like I was being a jerk.
Why?
You know, we were hanging out, and I feel like, you know, things have happened to me in my past. You know, things that have happened with my parents, and I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm afforded. So I've noticed that like I use humor to deal with a lot of trauma, right? And so, you know, I crack jokes, and those jokes are funny. Eventually, I get the what do you say? When someone, the reputation. So I get the reputation of someone that cracks jokes all the time in my family, right? And so sometimes I'll do these jokes when people are feeling bad because it's an inappropriate time to say a joke, right? And that's my sense of humor. And I did that a little too much. And I felt like I was like mentioning things that I really shouldn't have been mentioning, you know, where they all took them in stride. But I was like, man, I'm being an asshole, because I thought to myself, what is it going to look like in 10 years from now when my kids are teenagers and my nieces are teenagers?
And they like,
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
see that, right? They see that. And like we've all recognized, like when we've seen our aunts and uncles, been like, God, they're just fucking awful to each other. I like, fuck, this
Yeah.
is terrible. This
Yeah.
is annoying, right? They're just like, they haven't dealt with their shit.
yeah.
And I saw that, and I saw that in the future for myself. And I was like, I gotta stop this now, because I don't know, even when I think about my own aunts and uncles, I'm like, how much of that used to be jokes? And now it's just a horrible habit that's impossible
Yeah.
to break, you know? And so I told my brother, like, yo, I'm sorry for my attitude this weekend. Told my parents I was sorry. Like, nobody said I was being mean or anything.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
just
mean?
you reflected on
I was
it.
just kind of thinking, and, you know, I told my mom. Because I got kicked out of the house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, and sometimes I'll just, like, crack jokes about it, you know? But I was like, I told my mom, yesterday I told her, I was like, I'm never going to bring it up in front of you again. I'm so sorry. You know?
Yeah.
I know that we're all, like, we're dealing through that, and, you know, and she regrets it, right? And I don't want to ever just kind of keep pushing that button.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes if you make a mistake, you feel like if someone keeps acknowledging that mistake, you're just going to kind of keep taking it.
Yeah.
You know, because you did do something wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so you're just gonna let them kind of keep pointing to it. And so I felt like that's what was happening, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to be the one that just keeps
Yeah.
pushing it. You know, I need them to heal. I need to heal. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
You know.
Yeah. I've been on like your mom's side where it's just like people bring up like things that I have done over and over again, and I'm just like I'm like trying to like live with my guilt already, but like you're just making it impossible for me,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
you had to like cope with it by like good humor, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Be like, oh yeah. you
Yeah,
know, like-
or even just like overcompensating on things and just like thinking that I have to like do more for that person or to prove to them that I'm actually like not the same and my mistake didn't define me and things like that. So I find myself proving that like trying to prove that instead of just me sitting with the fact that like I know it, you know. So it's just like, but the thing is that like you actually acknowledged it and like apologized, you know, when in reality maybe it did hurt your mom, maybe it didn't, you know, but like you still made like that decision to keep it, to acknowledge it and to apologize, which I'm sure like she really appreciated.
Yeah, you know, I think my mom told me, she's like, I didn't even hear you when you brought that up. And I was like, okay, Mom.
Yeah.
You know, like, and she probably didn't, you know. But it's just like, I was like, I know. There's ways of being, and I know that I have to change, you know. It's like this life is just a journey.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 31, like, next week.
Dude, I forgot.
Yeah. Dude, my birthday's next week, bro. Next Tuesday.
Whoa,
Not this Tuesday coming up, the one
but
after.
yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Today's the 7th. Yeah. Yeah, so not
17th.
tomorrow. It's the,
Yeah.
it's next week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really excited. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be great.
Okay. I'm going to line up surprises for you.
Yo!
Throughout the podcast.
Surprises. Here's a gun. Use it.
And a knife. Kill me, please.
Kill us, yeah. For your birthday, I got us a suicide pact. And I'm like, no, Jesse, no. Anyway. Well, that's our podcast,
That is,
right,
yeah.
Oh, my God. What a great episode. It's good to be back and actually get rest last night. You know
I know.
We didn't have to do it this early.
Nice.
We didn't do it too early.
I know. I was so happy when you told me like 9. I was just like, woohoo! I get to sleep in a little. All right, guys. Thank you so
Peace.
much.
Thank you,
See
my
you next
dudes.
week.